All right. Hello there, collective, dear tribe of abundance. It's Dil Divine here. And I know it's been a minute since I've been back on YouTube. There's been so many spiritual activations and integrations going on collectively, let alone individually. And many of you who are following me on Instagram, you may have seen me engaging and building up some content on there as well. So I highly encourage you to follow at Abundant Insights on Instagram. If you are an Instagram user, there's a lot of little random videos that I like to do. And I want to say energetic rants and updates when I'm not necessarily feeling like getting in front of the camera and doing the whole recording gig for YouTube. But yes, it's been so wonderful to reconnect and re-engage as well as recommit to Abundant Insights and really connecting with y'all and serving the collective. I also want to let folks know who are watching this pretty much in real time within, November 2020. I am having a gratitude sale on readings where you can get a 4-card spread consisting of 3 tarot cards and 1 oracle card. And I have 8 different themes to choose from between angels, fairies, traditional, shamanistic, so many things. So shamanistic, I meant shamanic. But yeah, so we have so many things going on, and this gratitude sale is a great way for you to affordably gift yourself some clarity, or perhaps you want to do this as a gift for a friend or a loved one who may be going through a bit of a tough time, some adversity, some struggle, and are looking to transcend that, to break through those blocks, to break through those barriers. So just wanted to put that out there and say thanks again. That's my little knee down here, trying out a new setup, so bear with me. And also, one of the things I did notice with the videos is the camera kind of cuts off somewhere between 28 minutes to 30 minutes. So if something kind of goes on and you feel like as if there's a weird interruption, I'm going to do my best to be mindful and catch it, especially since the camera is here to my right with the time frame. But just give me some grace and know that I am going to, of course, post pictures of the spread on Instagram as well, so you folks can kind of see the cards in high quality detail. All right. So with that being said, thank you again so much for tuning in. This is going to be a new moon in Scorpio reading. And when I was doing a little bit of research and looking into information about this new moon, Scorpio in and of itself, is very much about deep transformations, shadow work, kind of going deep beneath the surface. Essentially, Scorpio energy, you could even actually read this card again. Let me just pull it back up, excuse me, but it even says, work through your fears. Work through your fears. And I think that's super duper important to kind of emphasize about this new moon energy, which is about setting new intentions, really clarifying, what are our goals? Where do we want to move forward next in life? What is the next chapter that we're seeking to embark upon? Or where do we need a reset and a refresh in our life? With the Scorpio and the working through your fears energy, that does indicate that it's all about that death, life, rebirth cycle. And this is shadow work, this is shadow integration, and I don't say that to scare anyone. I'm not saying that as a guarantee of pain or struggle or anything. However, what Scorpio teaches us, or at least invites us to learn and engage in, is getting outside of our comfort zone so that we can truly manifest the life that we are dreaming of, the destined life, a better life. And that requires levels of sacrifice, of surrender, letting go of what does not serve, and being willing to sit with our emotions, especially the dense ones, the heavy ones that we may not like to often feel, but sitting with them and leaning into them with our highest self, with our spirit, with an attitude of gratitude, and seeing, okay, what is this experience seeking to teach me? Or what are these feelings seeking to teach me? And I'm not really liking these dense feelings anyway. So what do I need to do to release them? What do I need to do to transform and evolve into the being that I want to become? This destined, more successful, more fulfilled, more contributory, just a lighter and brighter, bigger, better, and bolder version of yourself. The Scorpio goes deep within that medicine, beneath our surface, and drags things out that we oftentimes neglect, yet we need to address them if we truly want that abundant, manifestation, transformation, life, progress, forward movement, etc., etc., etc. So I actually want to share a little bit from the Moonology book. So the card you first saw is from the Moonology deck by Yasmin Boland. And I just want to give a quick little snippet about the new moon in Scorpio, because I think this is a really important and powerful passage. And so the author writes, under the teaching, Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth, magic and shamans. Its energy is a little bit dark, occult, even scary. Not all of us like to face the shadow, but Scorpio demands it. In fact, it's through working through your dark side that you can get to the light. And the new moon in Scorpio, and the appearance of this card at any other time, suggests you need to do that now. So Scorpio is inviting us in for a deep transmutational rebirth process, addressing and dealing with the things that we may not be comfortable with, but in the long term, and especially when we're on the other side of it, it's definitely worth it. All right. And for those of y'all worrying about this card up here, Archangel Raphael is on deck. Archangel Raphael has been coming through pretty strong this week, and even popped up today unexpectedly for me. So I wanted to invite them to be present and kind of oversee this reading and call in healing energy that can help us with this transformational process, that can help us, perhaps face the discomfort with a bit more ease, a bit more grace, perhaps even move faster through it, right? And I think this is a message to always call in your guides, call in your highest self, call in your angels if you work with them. And so kind of to get us started, so I'm going to be doing my shuffling, so you'll hear it over here. But I'm going to get ready to start off the reading. And what I want to do is, so I did pick this card and pull it specifically from the deck to see what the energy is. However, I'm also going to shuffle out one more card from the deck to kind of see, okay, what is this accompanying moon energy or lesson teaming up with Scorpio? Like, what else does the moon and the moon spirit want to say to us through a shuffle, right? And I'm going to get ready to do that, but I'm just going to pause this video and check to make sure the sound is recording, and also give us a fresh start so we don't have to worry about that 28-second. So just bear with me. All right, and we're back. So the sound is working, so thank you all for being so kind and courteous. I know it's a homegrown studio, but let's get into this reading. So I've already done my prayer, called in my spirit guides, and let's see what is this new moon happening on November 15th, 2020. New moon in Scorpio. What other messages do you have for us from this Moonology Oracle deck? And I really want to say, folks, I have definitely been feeling a bit of a roller coaster of emotions within the past 2 days as this new moon is coming in. Obviously, we just had the 1111 gateway portal. Ooh, okay. Card just popped out pretty fast. All right, so what's coming through, and we'll take this, is we actually have a third quarter moon, and it says adjustments are required. And I apologize, that this camera doesn't autofocus, but I will be taking pictures and I will be putting it on Instagram. And even if you're not an Instagram user, by the way, the profile is public. So even if you just want to go and take a look at, what's on there, you can definitely do that. So I don't want this to seem as if it's inaccessible, because it is a public profile. But we're getting adjustments are required. As I try and put this in the center of the frame. Okay, so I think this is a beautiful combination energy right here. Work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio, all about the transformation and rebirth that I was going over and discussing. And then we have adjustments are required. Third quarter moon. And I'm like, third quarter, so one more quarter to go before, I guess, the manifestation or things come into fruition. It's really interesting how it almost looks halfway just by the naked visual eye, but that's just me as a lay person looking at the moon, right? I know it may be hard to tell with this camera, but even just the cosmic colors, like the star shapes, this little nebula, if you will, we've got going on, it is very purple to me. And even the Scorpio new moon has very purple and blue energy. So I'm getting a lot of higher chakras, okay? A lot of crown chakra wisdom is being, I think, offered to us right now. So by whether it's meditation, prayer, doing something that connects you with your guides, with God, with Goddess, whatever you believe in. But there's an invitation here to receive a download. and to help guide with these adjustments that Spirit is saying need to be made. Adjustments are required is what I'm saying. Okay, there's going to be a tweak to some kind of plan, to something that you're thinking about. So for those of y'all who may have certain goals about what you want to do next, there are things you want to manifest. Perhaps there is a direction in which you want to go, or you've been making strides in a certain direction, I should say. And Spirit is kind of coming in, letting us know, all right, there's going to be a bit of a switch up. We kind of got to reroute, or at the very least, yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a divine rerouting. Excuse me while I put this on silent, pardon me. But that's Spirit coming through with the messages, right? What I'm really, this is really interesting to me. Because what I'm getting in the fact that it's following this card is I'm feeling a bit of a mindset shift. And I know this is talking about adjustments, and I was talking about a route, like, as in plotting a new course, right? Maybe switching up a certain part of a project, a certain variable, and I think those could definitely be a part of it. However, and I really was thinking third eye and crown and upper chakras, I'm feeling that this is also involving a mindset shift. So as you go through this rebirth process, allow this to really open your mind and your heart. Allow yourself to see things through new eyes. Leverage your divine discernment, opening and balancing your third eye. However, really expand and open your heart. Be open to unconventional or innovative or surprise, ideas, techniques, tactics, routes. There's something, this is really interesting because even with these trees and these branches reaching towards the moon, and it's not an in bloom tree, so it could either be fall or winter energy, depending. It's an important time to really nourish your intuition and your gut instincts. Yeah. Like you're gonna, and also because, speaking of working through fears and guts, right? Sometimes, at least in the States, we have this phrase where it's like, or at least back in the day, people used to talk about, oh, he doesn't have any guts, and it was a way of basically trying to say someone is being cowardly, not being courageous, not being brave, not standing in their power, right? And the fact that guts are coming through and gut instincts and intuition is, oh wow, I'm getting some deep downloads. Okay, so for some of y'all who resonate with this and understand when I say it, some of y'all are going through some deep light body activations and evolutions right now, and you're going to feel it in your third eye and possibly also in your gut area. So if you've been having any lower chakra or digestive sensations, weirdness, perhaps some challenges, or just whatever. Make sure you drink a lot of water and get enough rest. But I believe the body is feeling some of this shift in this rebirth. And sometimes we can feel things, right? And before they come, like sometimes you'll hear people say, I can feel it in my bones. Or even when you look at animals before something really pops off or goes down, they could feel it in their body. Like it starts to manifest there. Like it's like the combination of the intuition while evoking a physical sensation, if that makes sense. So this winds in the air of change are coming, and you're gonna feel it, and it may be like a bigger shift in your physical environment. It may be stretching out or reaching out in a new direction, one that is divinely guided and illuminated, one that is saying, yes, you've been doing well, like no tea, no shade, honoring whatever information you've had, whatever the luminescence is. However, this dark side is going to bring in some of the curveballs. This darker energy, this new moon energy is going to have you possibly make some bigger shifts and be open-minded to that. Basically, yes, don't be too rigid where you could miss out on a certain opportunity or close a door prematurely. I do want to look really quick though and see what does the author have to say about this card. Adjustments are required. So let me just check. What do you call it? Table of contents. There we go. I was like the glossary, and I was like, no, that's for terminology. I love learning though with y'all and really getting this info. It's so much fun. Which moon is this? Third quarter moon. Where are you at? Okay, page 36. Here we go. And I'm just going to read the little part that says the teaching. And it says, at the time of the third quarter moon, we know where we have been, but where are we going? The moon is now a half moon and slipping away from us as she catches less and less light, moving towards her full disappearance at new moon. Okay, so moving in this direction. Thank you. Okay. It's a time of falling away and a time to reevaluate. No matter when you draw this card, the teaching is to release and to trust. For the statement of attunement, it says, I am reevaluating the situation. In additional meanings, your life may be out of balance and this may be causing your issues. It may be time to hatch a whole new plan. Something new and exciting is around the corner. Trust may be required to move this situation forward. Okay, so I'm really feeling this as a confirmation of some of these initial energies that I was talking about. And thank, the author and spirit for clarifying that this third quarter moon is moving in this new moon direction. So I believe this is really saying, like, this is the deep release. Like, let go of the things that are not serving and allow spirit to kind of help guide you through that process. Like, if some of you are kind of struggling, wondering, what am I supposed to be letting go? What am I supposed to be releasing or moving forward from? Tap into spirit, even just clearing the space and creating the openness of space for newness to come in, new blessings, new mindsets, new attitudes, new energies. That's going to be a big golden ticket for y'all, a big blessing. And the Scorpio is saying, work through your fears, face your fears. I'm getting a sense of, don't be afraid of changing. Don't be afraid of release. Don't, like, when it comes to the energy of release, right, and surrender, like, yes, on a certain level, we could look at it as losing things when we let go of things. However, it's your choice if you want to stay in an energy of loss, right? Versus if you are in an energy of abundance where you're realizing, I am releasing something that no longer serves me so that the beautiful, the abundant, the bountiful can come in. Something newer, better, more applicable takes its place. So yes, this was a loss in letting go, but I'm not dwelling in loss. I'm not staying in loss. I'm not focusing on loss. I'm focusing on what I truly desire. I'm focusing on connecting with my best self, being my best self. I'm focusing on building faith and understanding that whenever space is created, something comes in to fill it. And as long as I'm in the right energy, the right vibration, keeping my mind and my emotions balanced, nourishing my soul and taking care of my body to the best of my ability in all those categories, because obviously we all have different adversities, but basically by doing and being your best as you can and focusing on that, you're going to be able to overcome any fears, and you're going to see that when you're on the other side of facing that fear, how much better off, how much you've leveled up, let alone whatever abundance has flown in your life, flown into your life. So some of y'all may be traveling, but has flown into your life tangibly and intangibly. All right, so those are some of the initial messages. But let's use the Psychic Tarot by John Holland to get a little bit more grounded and see what is this new moon reading wanting to teach us as a collective. Because I'm really curious, what are these moons teaming up to do for us? Please and thank you, Archangel Raphael. Just doing another shuffle. I want to be really, really sure that we have it nice shuffled up. I'm actually going to cut this as well. And let's see. I'm going to do a 3-card spread. Look at that. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, my goddess, y'all. Look at this. Sorry, I'm like freaking out. Doing the most. In this deck, by the way, so the Psychic Tarot is a little bit different from a conventional tarot deck. There are a lot of similarities. I can say with this deck, though, these are all major arcana that just came out. 3 major arcanas. This is a major new moon, okay? So I'm gonna break this down. I did want to point out, though, bottom of the deck for the Psychic Tarot, we have Firm Foundation. Okay, we have a 4, which is all about foundations, stability, security, senses of those, realities of those, intentions to build that, right? So look, we have a firm foundation coming up from the bottom. So definitely making sure you're doing a lot of root chakra clearing, root chakra work for those of you who are, open to any energy work or meditation around the chakra energetic system. This is an invitation to really tend to the root, which is all about releasing fears, working through fears, not letting fear drive you, not allowing fear or scarcity to come into your life and run the show, run the picture. Upping your strength and understanding that you drawing the breath, you being here on Mother Earth Gaia, you are divinely supported. There is a literal as well as figurative foundation for you to reconnect with, to touch base with, and you are empowered to build it. And nobody's saying it was easy, because in the background, this reminds me these little archways. And once again, I'll take a high quality photo for Instagram later. This is giving me Colosseum. This person is giving me, warrior spirit. So even with the Colosseum, and I'm going to get to that mountain, trust, but even with this whole Colosseum energy, this person has had to fight. I'm getting the energy that this person has felt like they've had to fight for their life, fight for everything they have had to overcome numerous challenges, struggles, battles, literally had to face so many kinds of fears just to even get to this point. And this is ascending, because with this upward triangle, I am getting ascending energy. So for some of y'all who are really into the spiritual path, you may be having deep spiritual activations, Kundalini activations, Kundalini awakenings as well. So for those of you who mess with that, this may be a good confirmation, or for those of you who are curious, an invitation to delve deeper. However, this person has really been building and concentrating their power, and the foundation is firm, and I believe it's kind of like, look, this person kind of looking down to the left, looking over at maybe all that they have done at this arena, this Colosseum, this place of trials and battles. It looks like they're getting ready to rise above it. So perhaps whatever this chapter or this saga of competition, of battle, of adversity, of challenge, it's coming to the close, and it has provided this person a very strong foundation. There may be a need for healing, just because I feel like with this, although this triangle is showing rising power, I think it's important to take some time to rest and heal and kind of like cultivate that foundation and appreciate it. This character, though, is moving forward on their journey and their path. They've overcome this arena, and now mountains to me always represent reaching new heights, facing new adversities, facing new challenges, going to the next level. So what I'm seeing here is Spirit is basically, I believe, kind of trying to congratulate y'all, like, so good for you, but trying to congratulate y'all for all that you have done and overcome, and letting you know you have a divinely supported foundation beneath you. You have all of the tools, the wisdom, the strength, the power, the finesse, the technique for whatever lies ahead. And it is a bright future ahead. Like, this is a beautiful blue sky. Okay, this isn't like, a storm or anything tragic. There is a mountain in the distance, but I'm feeling as if some of y'all went through some pretty deep battles and struggles, really having to face some deep fears to reevaluate, or your foundation's been rocked. However, you've been learning, or you've been invited to learn, how do you build a firm foundation from within, and then let your physical reality catch up with you, and you allowing it. So I'm getting like deep manifestation principles here, but building the firm foundation within, and Spirit is coming in to say like, hey, you're doing it / you've done it, and now prepare, because you're going to move forward. So if you've been feeling stuck, or if you have possibly been making yourself stuck because you are too worried about your foundation down here and kind of questioning it and thinking, oh, maybe it's not strong enough, maybe it's not big enough, maybe it's not stable enough. I think Spirit is trying to come in and say like, you are stronger and more firm than you're giving yourself credit for. and we have even bigger and better things ahead of you. Let go of these like arena-like challenges with these man-made problems and these man-made orchestrated fights and adversities and pettiness and BS, and let's get you elevated to more divine challenges and adversity, things that are more in line with your destined or your enlightened life, a better life, something bolder and bigger. Not to knock all of your accomplishments on this level, however, this is saying we want to take you really up to the next. It's time to elevate. Like you've mastered this, okay? You've slayed it, and you deserve all the credit. It has built you up, but do not let this arena continue to basically be the standard of self-judgment and what am I thinking of, like comparison and evaluation. Like basically, yes, raise up the standards. Yes, okay, thank you, Spirit. Like we are being up level to raise our standards. Like you're moving into a new league. There we go. I'm like, what is the sports metaphor here to help me? But it's like going in a new league. Like you're no longer in the minor leagues. It's no longer the training wheels. It's no longer just living life on the physical level and only focusing on very tangible things and physical BS and drama and what have you. Like no tea, no shade. We all live in this world and there's beauty in it. So I want to hold space for the beauty of the physical. However, this is next level stuff coming through. So yeah, let me put that down. Let me put that there. And now let's get into these major arcanas to really like put in perspective. So right off the bat, we got essentially what's equivalent to the High Priestess card. Very strong moon energy. We have intuition. Okay. Look at this. The Ankh, right? Representing once again life and that rebirth energy and the balancing of masculine and feminine energies. I'm seeing we have this High Priestess character who is what looks like they're in a black mirror, essentially, but they're doing some form of cosmic scrying, looking at the constellations, eyes closed, but leveraging this looking glass, if you will. And to the left of this character, but in the background, we have like a shining golden door, and it's kind of slightly opening, like there's cracks in it, which is letting in this divine light. And also look at this. We're getting this cloud image down here in the corner. I feel called to connect that with, hold on. I feel called to bring it back also to this firm foundation. Pardon me for being off in the glare. But with the clouds up here, it's like, go to the mountain. Mountaintops are also very spiritual points in the world. They're very, many people talk about climbing to the mountain and going to meditate, going to pray and receiving divine clarity. Like they are considered power places, energetically and spiritually speaking. So maybe that's you, like you are leveling up and you are rising, collective. You are ascending and you're tapping into, you are developing your intuition. You are letting that guide you, and you are letting intuition open doors. You are allowing intuition to help you plot a course, set a direction, take a new way. But in order to do that, or I should say, it's the invitation, is Spirit saying, is hold the space to connect with your intuition. Engage in activities that allow you to connect with yourself, with your highest self, with your guides, with the heavens, to basically receive these creative conditions and new paths forward. And Scorpio is a water element, which is all, and water is all about intuition. Scorpio is very intuitive. So very, very resonant here. This is saying, invitation once again, don't keep looking at these standards or these earthly conditions to show you where to go next. Your goals and ambitions are divine. They're bigger. They have more spiritual energy with them. So it's time to stop looking down at what's going on here on the human level and start looking within, going within your heart space, going within space for your intuition, setting your sights like higher, in the sense of higher consciousness, right? Obviously the portal is within, but sometimes we say looking above to our guides, to our highest self. Basically that's saying stop only letting the 3D, aka the physical world as it exists for you right now in the present moment. Don't let that stunt your creativity. Don't let that stunt you moving forward. Don't let that stunt you deciding which direction to move forward in or go in next. It's time for you to hold the space, or at least this is what Spirit is inviting you to do, is hold the space and work with your highest self, work with Spirit to figure out, okay, which direction to go next. Because they're leading, and there may be many doors that y'all are dealing with where you really have to discern, okay, which is the right one to walk through and or open. But holding the space with Spirit's guidance. For some of y'all, that is through meditation. For some of y'all, that's through prayer. For some, it's through dance and movement and physical activity. Sometimes it's listening to music. Sometimes it's like using a coloring book and having a binaural beat. Sometimes you just need a moment to just sit and be. You know, even before I did this reading, to help calm my spirit and my energy, I just put on a binaural beat and I was just breathing and allowing my mind to wander and figure out, okay, why am I feeling certain heightened emotions, and letting them go and releasing them, and kind of letting Spirit take me on a creative journey. And that's just my process. But I just want to share that with folks. Is like, there's many different ways to connect with our intuition and spirit. For some of y'all, by the way, right now, I think this just came to me. And I've been seeing this come up a lot. Like, spend some time with your pets. Like, if you are near animals or you have access to loving, friendly animals who consent to you, you know, petting them or being near them, that animal therapy and energy is going to be really good for you right now. This message is definitely for at least someone in the collective, if not for a few of y'all. But there's something, and like, also notice, like, if you've been feeling like animals or pets have been more drawn to you, more calm to you, or they're staring at you, like, not in a negative way, but like noticing you, that is also a confirmation for y'all that you're doing the right thing with your energy and your vibration. It's very similar to how people say with like babies and animals, because there's such purity in their energetic body. It's like when we are taking care of our energy and we're letting go of density and lower vibrations, they can detect that and they appreciate that and they can acknowledge that within us, as well as I believe they can guide us back to joy and support our joy. So for those of y'all who are pet owners, maybe take some time to just like cuddle with your pet or sit near your pet and listen to, like, you know, some binaural beats or some music and relax, and maybe even talk with them and treat them kind of like, you know, how magicians have familiars, or in witches have familiars. Talk with your pet and kind of like kiki with them, and witness what you even say as you're chit-chatting, quote unquote, having a conversation with your pet. See what's coming through, because you may be receiving messages from your highest self, and then you're going to be like, oh wow, like that was a great idea, or oh wow, this brought me such clarity, or oh wow, this brought me so much peace and calm. I want to keep this going. Let's follow this rabbit hole. So definitely some strong intuitive energies with this new moon. Very powerful time for you to connect with it, go within, and help get a course on where to go next. The middle of the deck, though, okay, so we have temptation. And this refers to, or in the traditional tarot, we often see this card, number 15, with the devil energy. So there's a lot going on. We see like these shifting faces. We have someone who's reaching for this glowing blue orb over here that also extends in a key, and a key with a heart shape too. So key to the heart, love. But then here is like, you know, these wispy tendrils and tentacles and things of darkness essentially consuming the body. Notice how it like already has all of the lower body, you know, mopped up, snatched up, and trying to get this person in their clutches and pull them back in and down. And that's why the faces are in motion, because here we have this person moving in the direction, looking at the light, reaching out for that key to break themselves free, right? But then here's this one with this shadow, this whisper right on their shoulder, but also right near their ear, literally, maybe not physically in the ear like in a gross way, because that would creep me out, because I hate things flying near my ears. But like, you know, if we can imagine if this was like a spiritual entity, right? It doesn't need like a humanoid mouth, but it's like, you know, transmitting signals and messages and making this person consider staying stuck, okay? The devil energy, temptation energy is really a test to see, okay, are we going to stay stuck, giving away our power to people and things that do not serve us? Are we going to possibly let lower vibrations, energies, and entities keep us exactly where we are for whatever their purposes are, whatever their desires are of us? Or are we going to reach out and free ourselves and bring some light to the shadow, integrate it, give it gratitude, learn the lessons from it, and move forward in freedom, as well as move forward towards unconditional, unbounded love. Love that unlocks and frees versus traps and encloses. And it's also important to know with this card, as well as with any devil card, really, or at least most times, we are the ones who have to liberate ourselves. We are the ones who have to free ourselves. And it's only when we give away our power to other energies, entities, people, circumstances, situations, jobs, whatever, that's what keeps us stuck. Because we have the power to focus on what we want and move in that direction. We have the key within reach to freedom. I'm not denying all of the fearful energy, right? Working through fears. I'm not denying the fears of what this darkness looks like, about how it can keep us. Some of us, we may be facing certain temptations, perhaps even certain addictions, and freeing ourselves. And I'm never going to say that's easy. I'm not saying it has to be difficult or hard either, because that's another misconception. Sometimes like people treat healing or transformative work as black or white, where it's like, it's either all good or it's all bad. And it's like, no, there's a lot of gray area and barrier, and we deserve. Okay, so good, we're back. So hopefully that last sentence didn't cut too much. Pardon me. But as I was saying, we get the medicine that we need and we deserve to free ourselves. And the more that we focus on the light, the more that we focus on the love, the more that we free ourselves in those higher vibrations, the more we're going to attract and manifest that. So this can creep up less and less each time, right? Because we're always going to be dancing with the devil and dealing with certain temptations, right? And that's, in many ways, that is a beautiful, I don't know, you can call it a test, you can call, I'm just going to say that for now so I don't waste time. But it is a beautiful moment in which, as we're being tested, we can see and confirm, okay, what we actually do want, where we do want to keep moving forward, versus just going with a status quo and letting things just be as they are. There is a lot of red energy here, and it is reminding me of this firm foundation card as well. So I'm really getting a sense of freeing yourself from, especially because I focus on the lower chakras. So for many of y'all, this is also about cord cutting. So you may want to look into cord cutting as well as karmic release meditations. For cord cutting, many people invoke Archangel Michael. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to do that. And for karmic release, I personally really like the Egyptian goddess Ma'at, and that wave of thought when it comes to karmic release, because she holds the scales when balancing the soul, and light as basically your soul, your heart should be lighter than a feather, or at least as light as a feather, and if not, then you got to repeat and go through more karmic lessons and cycles. So I'm getting a sense of, and I've been talking about this with a lot of people, this is a really big time of karmic balance and reset, which is actually a perfect transition to card number 11. And here we have balance. And in the traditional tarot, this is the Justice card, but here we have an angel coming in with balance. And look, they have all four elements, or all four of the tarot suits represented. We have wands, pentacles, cups, and swords. So fascinating to see this on this card in this deck. But this angel has got all of the tools, plus the fifth element, Akasha, spirit, highest consciousness, rising light. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. With this bubble, I'm also getting divine protection. So be sure to call that in, invoke that, invite that in your life. This card can help you rise above the temptation. This energy can free you from it. You have to allow it. You have to invest in it. You have to call it in, invite it in. But you have the tools, because on both sides of this, even though this is right in the center, you have your own personal empowered intuition here, and then you have higher spirit guides over here as well, helping you to tap into the tools, to download, to receive the tools, the light, right? Because even if this light is this light that's peeking through the door, it's you're calling them in and allowing this balance into your life. You're the one who can help invite and open the door for your spirit guides to come through and guide you to all the tools you need to manifest the life you want, the life you deserve, that highest consciousness, that higher purpose, next level stuff. This balancing act is real, okay? And because this also ties with justice and in many decks for me, and that's where I'm going with this right now, especially following temptation, is and I'm getting, and this is major arcana, all three of these, like I said. So this is major universal energy. So also with that is like basically our karma. So what you're doing, what you're intending, where you're directing your energy and focus, the universe is responding to that very quickly. You'll see many different spiritualists online, whether they're astrologers, readers, what do you call it, clairvoyance, whatever. So many different things are talking about how now manifestation, especially thanks to the 1111 portal opening up, is like hyped up, next level, supercharged. So things are coming through a lot faster. And even if for the things that are taking more time, even if they're not coming in as fast, they're going to hit stronger. They're going to hit harder. So it's very important for us to be very clear on what we want, where we're spending our energy, where we're setting our focus, where we're allowing ourselves to kind of dwell and exist, because essentially spirit, like the universe responds to everything, pretty neutrally. Like the law of attraction is very equal opportunity. So what you're putting out there, you can expect to get back and magnify. With this one, it's telling us, okay, wake up call. And I say this in every reading, so no shade, no assumption for you as the audience. However, if any of y'all have been perhaps trying to like not do the right things, or you're trying to like get over or get by, you may want to dial that back now. This is really important for truth. Like essentially a lot of the darkness is going to be brought to the light. So if you've been creeping, if you've been doing anything wrong, like I'm going to say you should fall back and just do the right thing. It doesn't need to be too deep, but seek forgiveness where appropriate, seek remedy where appropriate, but cut it back right now, because otherwise you're going to get pulled into a deep, dark place. And I don't believe that's what you want. You don't want to be there, especially when there's so much power on either side of you to really get to that next level that spirit wants to take you to. For those of y'all who may have been wronged or been dealing with some BS, or you've been feeling like a lack of truth, a lack of clarity, go into your own intuition, because it's going to guide you the right way, as well as knowing spirit guides and the angels. Like they're taking account. Like when I get justice, right? And I'm thinking, whenever the themes of karma have been coming up a lot, which I've been thinking about these last few weeks with readings, I'm thinking of karmic dispensation. I'm thinking of, so judgment to me is karmic dispensation, where like the judgment and the verdict, the result is rendered and put into practice. The justice phase for me is where things are kind of being balanced out, evidence is being collected, essentially the universe is taking stock of what's what, so people get what they deserve, right? So this is important. Like essentially this is the universe, like in the courts, is allowing us, is observing us anyway, listening to the trial, but also allowing us to submit our evidence. And our evidence is basically, okay, where are we setting our focus, what are our actions, what are we doing with our time, our energy, and how are we affecting others? Okay, so with that being said, if you don't want to be stuck in temptation, or if you want to free yourself from certain temptations and addictions, focus on what you do want, connect with your heart space, allow yourself to receive support. For many of us, I've also had to learn to ask for support. Like this is a lifelong lesson and journey, but I've been reminded of that. So seek out support and understand it is here for you, and it's going to come in many forms, tangible and intangible. All of these suits, all of the elements needed for you to do divine alchemy to really transform your life is here. This new moon, I believe, is a real, like, beautiful reset. But like I was talking about in the beginning with that shadow work, it's definitely here with this devil energy, with this temptation energy. So we need to face the fears. We need to deal with our shadows. We need to name them as they are and seek to release them. And don't do it alone. Don't get focused on the lower chakras. Don't get focused on people's dramas, pettiness. Don't let people who have desires of you that aren't really mutually fulfilling you or benefiting you or contributing to a greater purpose or cause. Like, basically, don't allow yourself to be someone else's puppet, someone else's pawn, someone else's plaything. And I'm going to keep this respectful because it is YouTube. But one of the things about the new moon energy it does talk about is a lot of sexual energy and engaging in sexual release. if it feels healthy and right. With this temptation card, I do feel a message coming in, as well as with the firm foundation when I was talking about focusing on the pettiness in humans, is protect your energy and be mindful of who you're sharing your body and your energy with, right? Because every time we do engage in sexual activity with others, we do form energetic cords. Like the more we invite people into our field and the deeper they are allowed into our field and our energy, the essentially the more cords and perhaps the more messier they can be. Because if that person's vibration is not right, that can mess you up, to be honest. Because think about it, in many moments of physical intimacy and shared space, there's a lot of letting go and release and surrender, which also leaves us more open to absorb and take things on. And I'm not saying this to scare anyone, like no tea, no shade, but energy is transferred. Okay, so if somebody is carrying certain negative energies, entities, vibrations, that can be transferred unto us. Like that can be transferred unto you if you allow someone into your space, pretty intimately. And I'm just saying this as a warning because it's coming through, not to sit here and pass any judgment on what anybody does, because I'm very all about empowered sexuality and enthusiastic consent. It's just, be mindful who you're sharing your energy and your time, your wisdom, your love, your sensuality, your creativity, because if they're not coming correct, that's going to muck up your process. They're going to distract you from what is truly yours, okay? And I'm not super religious, but, I was even having a combo with my mother the other day, and she reminded me, like, when you are moving forward on your path, honoring yourself, honoring your calling, taking the step forward, whatever that means for you. But when you're doing that, the devil likes to pop up and deploy any and all tactics to hold you back from basically living your light, walking in your light, living in love, moving forward, manifesting what you're supposed to and what you're called to. And for those of y'all who aren't that, what you call it, I don't know, upper level, like you want it more granular, basically you can think about it on a basic level where when you are moving forward in the direction of what you truly want and what you believe is best for you, there are going to be many tempting situations that could pop up. And that happens to see, okay, how dedicated are you to your goals and how ready and willing and able to move forward with them are you? Like basically it's like the universe is checking where you at, and are you really about it? Like, are you about that life? Or if I come and bring this person along, or if I come and drop this circumstance again, or even if it's not the same person, but it's a similar energy or lesson, basically if I plop this on your path again, are you going to get caught up again? Or are you going to keep your eyes on the prize and gracefully not engage? Or even if you do engage with a certain person or circumstance again, because, forgiveness is a real thing, how are you engaging with it this time? And are you doing it from a place of empowerment and alignment? Or are you doing it from a place of letting other people's wants and their clutches grab you and hold you back? All right. So yeah, this is beautiful. This is really what's coming through. This is amazing, collective. With all this major arcana, there's a lot going on. But I feel like the universe really has your back and is really here to protect you. But if you have been struggling to get a clear-cut sign, if you've been, and I've been really analyzing my relationship and how I work with spirit, how I work with the cards, and, no judgment, no shade. But sometimes, when we're going through it, we go to the universe oh, please send me a sign, or please send me something clear, make this obvious, blah, 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 blah. And what I've come to realize is I need to breathe and understand that there are many moments, especially in these dark nights of the soul, when we're facing the fears, when we're in the shadow period, there's many moments where spirit is not giving us essentially a clear or set path, but rather spirit is inviting us to co-create and manifest one, to empower us to step into our autonomy. I really feel this energy with this high priestess, but it's us using our power, our gifts, our intention to set the course or set the universe, or at least engage and lead the scrying process. Spirit will come in and help give us tips and guidance, but they're not just going to give us a map, out of nowhere. It's we got to put in the work. We have to hold, and it's not even put in the work. It's really hold the space, essentially, for the map to be properly downloaded and received without our mind doing so many damn projections and limitations that would block us from seeing this beautiful path or option. Sorry, I'm off camera. Seeing this beautiful path or option that spirit is coming in. Because perhaps if our eyes were open and our logical mind was driving the process, we might only be thinking like about, I don't know, this star and this star or something like that. But Spirit's coming in and giving us more layers and levels and what have you, more plot points to work with. Whew, getting a lot of energy off that. I'm living for this balance card. Like, this justice is real. This justice is going to be real. And this balance is here for us. Yes. Do right, collective. Dear Tribe of Abundance. Like, if you keep doing the right things, don't worry. You're good. You're good. And I feel like you're going to get all of this beautiful, abundant, loving grace. Like, I feel like a very great energy off of this angel, and it's wonderful. However, you know, this angel's eyes are closed, floating above the earth, glowing. But what I'm getting is, like, low-key, people are going to get what they need. But how they get it, how soft it is, how loving it is really dependent on your vibration and, once again, what karma you're putting out there. Like, basically, the people who have been messing up or have been hurting or causing harm, their situation will likely go through some adversities and struggles. So once again, just wish them well, pray for grace and compassion. Like, we don't want to send ill will, because we don't want that being sent upon us. However, those who are really doing right, like, you're going to be blessed with, like, an abundant and amazing altar. But the thing is like, also this angel is availing the tools, but once again, we have to take them. We have to leverage them. We have to use them. We have to put in some level of action. As far as being confused on how to leverage them or wanting more ideas, that's where the intuition comes in. It's like, okay, here's how you're going to use the tools. Here's how you're going to put this together. Here's how you're going to break free. Here's how you're not going to allow yourself to be distracted, okay? So free ourselves and build that strong foundation, collective. Whew. All right, this was a longer than I thought reading, but it went deep. So I'm going to pull, just so we can get some insight as a collective on maybe where can we direct some of the shadow work focus using the Les Vampires vampire deck that I have. I like this one just because I feel like this energy is really good at helping us go beneath the surface. I feel like it would be very in alignment with the Scorpio new moon. And I want to just make sure we end with something that helps us, you know, unblock and unlock our talents, right? So let's see what's good here. What is the shadow work? Ooh, okay, so we have card number 16. And we have the call of the night. Daring, adventure, excitement. So look at this. We got moon energy coming through. And look at all these animals. We've got like mad cats. We have like a wolf as well. So the pet thing is real. The familiar thing is real that I was talking about earlier. So some of y'all, like, if you really feel called to work with animal energies, whether, you know, in real time, in your real life, or if you don't have any pets or animals around, but just like invoking that energy, this is a call to that. As we know, cats are also very, very intuitive. So another intuitive sign. With the wolf, I'm getting, to me, that is really emphasizing the brave, the daring, and the adventure energy. Tapping into our alpha energy. Being a leader, tapping into our strength, walking our path, following the moon, in this case, following, you know, a North Star, following the higher spiritual light and guidance, and letting that, and also with a calling, right? Like when we get a calling, that's an intuitive nudge. That's like an intuitive hunch. That's like intuitive guidance, like something for your path. And this 1 + 6 comes to a 7. 7 is a highly spiritual number for me. That's spiritual activations, downloads, awakenings. Once again, to me, this is showing like the spiritual calling, like that spiritual message, that deep download. And I was talking about downloads in the beginning of this reading as well. So, and it's like, even for you all to receive the call, right? It's like, once again, hold the space to receive the call. Spirit is calling you. They're like, they're on the line. They've got you. Like, it's just a matter of you making sure you put some minutes aside to get the call to work with Spirit, because they want to guide you to the next path. Like with this adventure, I'm getting it because I even said this one is like, if you stop focusing up here and you look up at the calling, right? You look up, you're going to go on that next adventure. You're going to level up. You're going to be guided to what serves you, what is better in alignment for you at this point in time. And if you really allow it, you can enjoy this, because it says excitement. This is going to be something like Spirit wants you to have a good time with this. Spirit wants this to be next level. All right, let me just skim read from the book, and I am going to take pictures of the full passage of the book and put that on Instagram as well. All right, so this is a bit long. Okay, so I'm going to read the part working with this card. Time to step beyond the places and people where you feel safe. This is a time to stretch your wings and seek out new friends, experiences, and people. You will find so much if you dare to explore. And what was I saying? Get out of this arena. Like you've graduated, you've leveled up. Like you already know these characters. Not to say cut people off. Like I'm not saying act brand new or do like anything like that. But it's saying like, I said raise your standards. Like it's next level. That's what Spirit's saying. And yes, this is amazing. All right, so I'm going to take some pictures of this collective, and I'm going to come back soon, and I think I'm going to do a pick a pile for some cosmic activations as well that can help with this shadow work. But as far as the warning or the curse, what would be the reversal energy before this battery dies, is don't get stuck in a rut or routine thinking. Don't just continue to give away your power to other people, right? And like obeying other people's desires or commands. Don't stay stuck. Don't be too afraid. Like level up. You have amazing strength all around you. Face those fears, collective, because you are being led. We are being led into our calling to the next level and to do something great that will not only fulfill us, but contribute so much to our community, to the collective, to the world, to this planet. All right. Wow, this is amazing. I'm so grateful. So thank you all so much again for tuning in. I am Dil Divine with Abundant Insight, and if you're interested in a personal reading or energy healing session, you want to dive deeper because this is a general read, please click the links in the description box below, as well as jump on that 11/11 gratitude sale. I mean, for $11 you can get a spread from me, and you can really get some custom information from Spirit and your guides. So it's a win-win-win, and I'm just full of gratitude this month, as well as for everyone who's been able to help me sustain myself out here to this point. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to get ready to go and edit this, and I'll be back soon. Take care.